Today, I want to talk about one of the most important concepts from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it all begins in the very first chapter, titled Introduction: The Power of Thought. This chapter is the foundation of everything else Hill teaches in the book. And if we understand this part deeply, we start to see how powerful our mind truly are in shaping our life. Hill opens with a bold but profound idea. Thoughts are things, not just fleeting ideas or mental noise, but real, powerful forces that can shape our actions, our habits, and ultimately our destiny. He argues that everything that exists around us, from skyscrapers to smartphones, first began as a single thought in someone's mind. That's a powerful realization. Think about it. Every great invention, every fortune, every breakthrough, it all started with an idea. But here is the key: that an idea had to be focused, nurtured, and turned into desire. To help us understand this, Hill shares the story of Edwin C. Barnes, a man who had no money, no special background, and no connection. But he had one thing: a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison, not just to work for him, but to be his business partner. Now that probably sounded impossible to anyone around him, but Barnes didn't let that stop him. He literally hopped on a freight train and showed up at Edison's office to pitch himself. Did he get the partnership right away? No. But Edison saw something in his determination and gave him a small job. Barnes accepted it, and then held onto that dream until the day came when the opportunity arrived. Eventually, he became exactly what he envisioned: a partner to Edison. And that's all started with one clear, focused thought. Now, what's the lesson here? Let the success begin in the mind. Barnes didn't wait for the perfect timing. He didn't wait until he had money or credentials. He had a thought and he acted on it. Hill teaches us that most people never succeed at the level they could, not because they're not smart enough or lucky enough, but because their thoughts are scattered. They wish for things, but they don't really desire them with intensity. They don't feed those thoughts with belief and persistence, and that's the difference. When I teach this concept, I like to use this analogy. Think of your mind like a garden. If you plant your seed and take care of them, watering them, protecting them from weeds, they grow. But if you ignore the garden or let it be overrun with the weeds, in other words, negative thoughts, doubts, and fears, then nothing will grow. He is telling us that we have to become intentional gardeners of our minds. We must choose the thoughts we allow to take root and grow. And here's one more powerful idea. Hill introduced in this chapter, though alone isn't enough. You can't just sit around and think your way to success. You must combine thoughts with the belief, with emotion, and with action. That's when real transformation begins. So if you're teaching or sharing this with others, encourage them to reflect: what thoughts dominate my mind every day? Are they empowering or limiting? Am I feeding my goals with belief or with doubt? Because Hill makes it clear, whatever you consistently think about, especially when it's backed by emotion and belief, you move towards. In conclusion, it is not just an introduction, it's a challenge. Hill is inviting us to wake up to the power we already have. the power to direct our thoughts, to believe in our vision, and to take action, no matter the impossible something may seem. And when we do that, we begin to see just how real the phrase, thoughts are things, can become in our lives.